Fried, getting fried, Megan style. Good evening, folks. It's 7:25 p.m. and I'm watching here the mimic of the last 48 hours of the existence of the soon-to-be defunct Cyclone, Megan. The highest reported wind I could pick up is just under 50 miles an hour coming from about over here. I don't know why it's even listed as a cyclone anymore. So as we've seen this morning, they had the whipper going here, and they parked the device here, then beam both directions, and you'll see it's like canting the storm, like a lever here and here, just whacking it around. And it looks bent, but it's not. If you've seen it in slow-mo, you'll see it's individual things, but the moving of the moisture is adding to the curve look of this. Boy, they frying it up. That ain't good for marine thing, and it drove it right between those two islands there to keep its maximum circulation going for impact inland. So the tropical storm's going to continue on inland. We also had a big fryer out. If I pull Mimic up here, you'll see it. I had it on a different screen. I had it on there. I've got a lot of screens open right now, but this is the only one I can go live with. You'll see that big blast there. If I put it on the 180, you'll see how much of the world got rocked by this beam here. We'll step it right here. Right as it went over Australia and over South America and right under Africa. It's really going to stop up the moisture from coming down here. Force the gap is here and here where cold air can go over the pole and out. That's a big blaster. Okay, so we can have a little look at this as well. Okay, so I'm going to do that zoom thing. I can still have some of the controls. And we'll just go to this side here. One of the things I was noticing was one of the emanation point was the triangle on this island fired twice in both directions. So there's a device there. There's also a device right here which definitely has been deployed as part of this event. It did a double sweep. It swept low here and then it did high, low out to sea. Basically right over the top of that other tropical storm, which is going to force it out to sea. See how it's cradled it right there? Yeah, the initial blast over the top would have stopped some of its circulation when it was at that point right there. See? And they fried the Atlantic, which is not going to be good for the Carolinas in here. It's going to help bring some big totals in because this is going to hold this up from going out to sea and back stuff into the Gulf of Mexico. And a lot of quakes are going to trigger along this line through the Japans, especially, and the Philippines. They seem to be the ones that are going to bear the biggest brunt of this. Even a volcano over there in Bali might have a hiccup because of this sweep here. It's a big motion of the mantle there underneath that island there, so it won't be surprised if that pimple squeezes out a little juice. Yeah, a little sky shark for him. And well, what base is known to be over here is up in Newfoundland. There's also a huge base over here in Massachusetts. We got a lot of EMF device over there at St. John's, Newfoundland. So that's probably the culprit on that end of the spectrum. It's not HARP. HARP is over here and it did not fire as far as I've seen. So let's get rid of the Mimic now. You guys seen that you got fried. Let's go on to the storm and how it's coming ashore and some of the wind speeds here. I've got ticked up here 21 miles an hour moving that direction, 13 in this direction. At no point is this a full line tropical cyclone. However, in these gaps of these islands, we're still picking up 48 mile an hour winds, and the gusts is what's going to be the big problems here. Right, it's a big wind field along the shore, 30 and 40 mile an hour winds, but the gusts are going to be wicked. The gusts are going to be damaging. Like you hear, some of these gusts are just shy of hurricane or tropical cyclone strength coming in at 64 miles an hour. That's enough to, as they come ashore, this is going to continue. You got to watch them sheds out there. That roofs could be blowing off, and we could have some problems. But you know, when they're whipping a storm up like they did over here when I showed you this graphic here, what do you expect? And I'll go right toward more of the time on this when they're doing the whipper move, right? There's a good screenshot of that. You know, these type moves definitely influence these storms. And here's another rolling of that, where they do that move, and that was a still shot of it. So that's beaming from a central location right here where my middle finger is. They're giving you the big old middle finger. And so we're going to go now back over to look at a little bit more of this, what's coming to shore wind-wise. And this wind field is going to be vast inland. So watch yourself tonight on any of these areas as this approaches. And this is here as we going into 11 o'clock tomorrow night. As this thing is going across the country, these wind gusts are going to be a factor. You know, basic winds might only be 20 miles an hour, in some spots 30. But when you got wind gusts in the ranges I was just showing you, it's a deadly situation is unfolding. So let me put you back on the rain and rumbler and what to expect, and to some of those little things that are just taking up too much space. It's not really that low a pressure. So let's show you what to expect here. I'm still going to go with access. Heavy tendrils coming ashore tonight. It's really not going to be a pleasant night there. And to be anywhere along this corridor. It's going to be a lightning show. Yeah, you see these winds? They're going to be bad. You see all that water? And those things are bucketing down. Some of them are going to be popping 2 inches an hour on you. Some of them 1.5 inches. That was a mosquito catching a moment there, because we ain't fucking around here with mosquitoes. They're just all find out around me. Right, you see how it spreads out? I'm going to give you some of the totals, and I'm going to exit this and make it a nice quick broadcast, and I'll get it up on my new YouTube for you. The 10-day total still approaching 80 centimeters. Some of the stuff towards the coast here was rather ridiculous. But this tendril coming in towards this lake here is my biggest concern. Hey, so if you're around this lake here, you're fucked. Absolutely fucked. I can hardly read. Corella Creek and this road, Highway 11, is fucked. Don't even think about going there. You don't even be wanting to be out on this lake. She's going to run wild. And you don't want to be out in this. And over here at Wagyala, yeah, you're looking at getting close to 1/3 of a meter of water coming your way on the 10s. On the 5s, you're already in the thick of the shit. On the 3s, you've already owed SpaghettiOs, man. This is not an easy thing to watch. And half the moisture is going to go to the west. The other is going to strip down here towards this direction and come over and fuck the rest of the country. Holy sheep dip. Would you look what they've got scheduled for Goldie? I told you he was going to get in that 20 and 25 centimeter range. This whole area is slated for inundations. I told you guys are about to have a major event. I'm not going to go over all that tonight. What we're going to go over is you go to bed, you have a relax. Yeah, I'm watching, okay? Big love, people. You stay safe. And there's no real visible beams to show you from any of these stations. A lot of kickoff storms in the Townsville corridor still going on, but nothing tornadic to report here. Big beam blasting away over here. Oh gosh, would you look at the gulf? Who is this here? Gone with the Windy over here. Gunundai. The hell kind of name is that? Hey, Gunundai. I can hardly pronounce it if I was drunk or something. Look at this storm here approaching the outside of you guys here. Oh my. But anyways, I'm going to click off here. You guys stay safe. Big love. Peace.